What's going on, guys? Vincent with Fit to Succeed. I am here at the Avenal Fit Court right next to the boxing gym. What I'm going to be doing is giving you guys a very basic workout you can do about 3 times a week, because in reality 3 times is pretty much all you really need. It should only take you about an hour. I'll include the sets and reps. It's just generally going to be about 4 sets of 15 reps. But I'm only going to go through the basics: pull-ups, push-ups, a leg exercise, and an ab exercise. The basics is all you really need to do. I'll go into different variations of them based on your fitness level, and then you just pick whichever ones you can do. So with that being said, make sure you warm up before every workout. Because I'm here at the Fit Court, it's kind of hot. I'm gonna go ahead and use gloves just because of the bar. I don't know how dirty these things are, so I'm gonna do my best here. Other than that, if you like the video, go ahead and follow the Fit to Succeed page, share it, all that fun stuff. So let's just get into it. Also, along with the basics of the exercises, I'll include some I don't want to call them advanced movements or advanced workouts, but some extra stuff you can do to isolate the muscles. You don't really need to do them because these basics are pretty much going to hit your full body. Just based on consistency is going to be your progress. If you're not consistent, you're not going to progress. All these vehicles are loud. So with that being said, yeah, let's just get into it. Alright, so first exercise is going to be a pull-up. I'm just going to pick a max amount of reps and just break that up into different sets, or max amount of total reps. So basically my goal is 50 total pull-ups. I'm going to break that into 5s, so 5 sets, or I'm in 10 sets of 5. So first set, I'm going to do 5 pull-ups. I'm going to rest for about a minute or 2, then do another set of 5, rest, and then another set, so far. So basically the goal is not to exhaust yourself, kind of like HIIT training. The goal is just basically being able to complete all the reps with as perfect form as possible and building the strength there. So if you can't do the pull-ups, you can opt for a dead hang. It's basically you're hanging onto the bar. Now you want to try and hold on to it for about 15 to 20 seconds at a time, and then set a total, I guess, minute. So if you want to hang for 10 total minutes, break that up into 1 minute at a time hold for 10 sets. So 1 set hold for a minute, rest, then do it again and again and again. So it's totally up to you how you want to do it. You kind of know yourself and know what you can and can't do, so you got to break it up onto that. If you can't do a dead hang because it's just too hard, you can opt for an inverted row. I'll show you those 3. So I'll show you a pull-up, I'll show you a dead hang, and I'll show you an inverted row. And you just pick which one of those you can do to progress yourself. I'll start with the easier version first, and then go into the harder versions, and you just pick which one you can do. So alright, so what we just did was our back exercise. It's a pretty big compound movement, meaning you're using a lot of freaking muscles, not just one part of your back. You're using a big part of your back, keeping stability, as well as your arms, your biceps to pull you up, your traps. So don't think of it as just working one specific muscle. You're working a lot of other muscles along with it, because our bodies do work in a group or as a whole. So for the sake of this workout, we are just working our muscles as a whole. It's really hard to talk when you're tired. Next, we're gonna go into our chest exercise. So what you're gonna see is 3 different variations. Well, 4 variations. We're gonna go into a dip. If you cannot do a dip, then you are going to just basically do a dip hold, kind of like you did your dead hang on a pull-up bar. You're gonna hold for a specific amount of time. I'll throw a recommendation out there, and if it works for you, it works for you. If not, add more, add less. So dips, dip hold, and then we'll go into a push-up variation as well. So you're gonna pick which one of those 3 exercises you can do, and then you're gonna set your sets and reps goal, and then you're gonna go ahead and complete that. So let's get it. Alright, so we just got done with our chest movement. So far we have a back movement, we have a chest movement, we're going into a leg movement now. So this one, again, we're going to show you some different variations. Basically, you're going to do a lunge, you're going to do a step up, or you're going to do a Bulgarian split lunge or a split squat, however you want to call it. I'll start with the easy one, then we'll go into it. The goal is with all these exercises to keep your back straight, body straight, form as perfect as possible. I'm not really going into too much emphasis on how your form should look. I'm just showing you the exercises, assuming you know how to do them. If you want to go into more detail, or you want me personally to go in more detail, let me know and we'll talk it out.
What we do here is go back.
A quick recap on the exercises. All we're mainly focusing on is compound movements. Compound movements are basically working multiple muscles at one time, whether it's legs and chest, legs and back, legs and shoulder, whatever. You're combining muscles together for one movement. So with the pull-up, or a variation of the pull-up, you're not just using your back muscles. Your back muscles consist of lats, rhomboids, traps. You're also using your biceps, which is this part of your arm here. Oh man, I got like a crazy tan line. Anyway, so you're using your back muscles, your biceps. You're also using your legs to keep yourself from swinging. The best way to do that, and you're using your glutes too, your ass and your legs basically keep you from swinging. So when you're doing a dead hang, if you find yourself swaying back and forth even a little bit, just tighten everything up, put your feet together, point the toes out, and squeeze your ass. That's basically going to keep you from moving. So you're using your core as well. Your core is your stomach and your lower back. That's going to keep you from swaying as well. So you're not just using your back muscles, you're using all kinds of other muscles as well, which makes doing pull-ups a great exercise. Dead hangs the same thing. As long as you keep your back nice and tight, core, legs, ass muscles, it all comes together. So it's a good workout. If you want to get better at pull-ups, but you can't, just practice dead hangs, and then go to the top of the bar and hold yourself above the bar as long as you can. And if you feel yourself going down, that's fine too. Control that as much as possible. That's another way to do it. Your inverted rows are the same. Try to keep your back straight. You're still using roughly the same muscles, just they're not activated as much because that variation is a little easier. So when you go into your push-ups, same thing, you're using your tricep muscles, you're using your front delts, and you're using your chest as well. It's not necessarily upper chest, middle, and lower chest. You're using all of your chest. So with the push-ups, as long as you make sure your back is nice and straight, you should be fairly good. You also want to make sure your hands are in line with your chest when you're pushing, not in line with your face. And a good way to tell is if your elbows are down at an angle like this and not flared out. That helps too. You saw me go at different levels. The highest level is the easiest. You go lower, 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 and it makes it harder and harder. So just practice your push-ups there. Now, Jesus Christ, it feels so bright out here and it's not. It's cloudy as hell. So after our pushing variation, we go into legs. Now your leg variation, you don't always have to do lunges. I like lunges just because they're really hard. You can also do squats if it helps you do squats, but if you can challenge yourself, do a lunge. Just for the sake of the exercises, I just picked a lunge. So as long as your back is nice and straight, right, when you're going down and up and your back's not leaning forward, just nice and straight up and down. At the same time, you hear a lot of don't let your knees pass your toes. That's kind of like a myth. There's a reason for it. I don't want to get too much in. There's a reason for not letting your knees pass your toes. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's just about where the pressure is on your foot. My knees pass my toes, but the pressure on my foot is where it's supposed to be, which makes the exercise effective. So that just, it goes into more detail. Now, the step ups is pretty difficult as well. You don't have to necessarily do it on the box I did it on. It doesn't have to be as high. Just pick something you're comfortable with and that's challenging and go from there. Same thing with the Bulgarian split squat, split lunge. You don't have to have that high of a box. It can be lower as well. You kind of just work with what you're comfortable with. The idea is just learning to balance and have all that pressure and tension on one leg so you can work through that movement. If your knees absolutely hurt, then don't do the exercise. The idea of no pain, no gain should not exist because you don't know if it's pain or if it's muscle burn. Some people just don't have that clarity on it as far as which one it is. So just go with what you're comfortable with. If you have any questions, feel free. Message me, comment, whatever works for you works for me. So that's it. Peace.